driving his Rolls hell $3.5 million for a
learned the art of handling money as a kid,
which became a problem as he began to earn millions whilst he was still a teenager. After becoming champion at the age of only 20, Mike Tyson began to average $7.5 million per fight, and this didn't even include his other sources of income. He was paid over $50 million in casino deals, $3.5 million for a WrestleMania guest appearance, while Mike Tyson's Punch-Out sold 2 million copies during its very first year. By 1990, Mike Tyson was credited as the highest paid athlete in the world, with an estimated $28.6 million in income this year, although all of this changed when he was sent to prison only 2 years later.
Okay, so for context, what started us watching this is we was driving and we was listening to Fat Joe and Jadakiss talk about Big Pun in the 90s and how rich he was and how he had allegedly 5+ Benzes and a $20,000 exotic dog in one sitting. Oh, there go the cars. Not even counting like any other, home entertainment things, clothes, travel. Big Pun was fat. Is a mug, or he was overweight and obese because of his lifestyle. So again, his food budget probably was his craziest stuff. He was talking about guns and stuff like that, an arsenal, spending on women and family overhead and stuff like that. That's just prospectively things for him. That ain't even talking about what he doing for his mama, his brother, the nigga just closest to him in the hood and shit like that, security. So then I was like, yeah, bro, people in the 90s is getting a lot of money, especially compared to now. Like, even off that, Big Pun was multi-platinum in the 90s, and it wasn't what streaming is, where you gotta stream your songs 1,200 times to get a penny. So they was getting all and touching all they freaking money. So within that, and with that dynamic, you look at it and you kind of ask yourself like, dang, bro, so who was touching like crazy ass money? Mike Tyson, again, was the highest paid athlete at one point in the 90s, or going into the finishing the late 80s, going into the early 90s. He was one of the highest paid athletes. So we looked at Mike Tyson, and this is what they were saying about Mike Tyson. Coming out of jail, he got $20 million check.
The heavyweight champion had two checks, each made out to him for $10 million. In the next few weeks, Tyson will get another $12 million for the rights to future fights in television.
Damn, so
a few months later,
million.
he earned the most money ever given to a boxer, $25 million, to fight a stiff named Peter McNeely. Over the next 2 years, Tyson earned a further $140 million from 5 different fights, making him nearly invincible.
57 million.
False sense of security. False sense of security. Nothing about it could be a real invincible. Okay. I feel like you can't even die.
Which, when combined with the bitterness from his time spent in prison, caused Tyson to begin spending everything.
For me being poor, never having anything, for me being bitter, angry for being in prison, it's done from a lot of things.
Firstly, there were the cars. According to CBS, Tyson reportedly bought 110 cars either for himself or as gifts, one of which being a $320,000 Bentley Azure, the most expensive production car in the world. Tyson bought it and ordered 4 more. In the space of a few minutes, he'd spent more than $1.5 million, while in a different instance, Tyson showed up at a car dealership just outside New York to buy another car. He bought a Ferrari for $300,000, declining a test drive because he already had one just like it. On a different day, Tyson was pulled over whilst driving his Rolls Royce without a license, but was able to get out of trouble by giving the car to the cop.
Sir, why don't you...
What? Nah, bro. Hold on. Because hopefully this pavement on this road improved, because that was crazy. And I remember hearing this story, but I forgot about that. You heard what he said?
No.
The nigga said Mike Tyson, because he already had one like it. Then after that, he said Mike Tyson got stopped by the police for speeding or some shit, and the way he got out of the speeding ticket was by giving the police officer the car.
Wow.
That gravel shit going on.
Yeah.
The car, you deserve it, because you've been doing a lot. Because I didn't want to get arrested. I didn't have license or anything. And I didn't want my wife to get in trouble. And so I wanted to just take it, It was around 230 at the time, and they took it.
This didn't end well for the officer.
He got fired.
He did?
Yeah.
Although it did end well for Tyson's friend Ed Lover, who was given a Bentley so he could drive home from a club.
He goes, here, take the car. I'm like, okay. He gives me the Bentley. A month go by, I still have this car. He said, I wanted you to have that car. He said, I gave you that car.
With so many vehicles, Tyson needed somewhere to store them, purchasing mansions in Las Vegas, Ohio, and Maryland. However,
Nigga gave a
so he could
nigga
drive home
Billy
from
to
a
go
club.
home.
He goes, here, take the car. I'm like, okay. He gives me the Bentley. A month go by, I still have this car. He said, I wanted you to have that car. He said, I gave you that car.
With so many vehicles,
Why you
Tyson
didn't bring
needed
his shit
somewhere
back,
to
eh,
store
lover?
them, purchasing
Weird ass
mansions
nigga.
in Las Vegas, Ohio, and Maryland. However, these were nothing compared to the house he bought in Connecticut. It featured 21 bedrooms and 35 bathrooms, as well as a full-blown nightclub, a movie theater, a
What?
mini casino, a squash court, and a fully spec'd out proper commercial gym. But this was only the inside. A movie theater, a mini casino, Maryland. However, these were nothing compared to the
NBA
house he
young
He
boy
said, I
need this
gave
house.
you that car.
With so many vehicles, Tyson needed somewhere to store
Literally,
them,
Kittrell
purchasing
need that
mansions
house.
in Las
That's the
Vegas,
house arrest
Ohio,
house.
and Maryland. However, these were nothing compared
I
to
wanna
the
look up
house
that
he
house. We
bought
gotta
in
remember to look that
Connecticut.
house up.
It featured 21 bedrooms and 35 bathrooms, as well as a full-blown nightclub, a movie theater, a mini casino, a squash court, and a fully spec'd out proper commercial gym. But this was only the inside. Outside, there was a full-size basketball court, a swimming pool with its own grotto, and get this, its own lake house, and fountain on a 17.6 acre block.
Oh
If
my
the house
God.
looks familiar, it's because Tyson eventually sold it to 50 Cent, who
Oh.
called it his biggest financial mistake,
What was the most
'Cause the
like
overhead
when
for it
you
was too
wasted
much.
money? The Tyson crib was like that.
mainly because of how much the property cost
Yeah.
to run.
How much was the
the
upkeep?
overhead.
Guesstimate a year.
Tyson expanded on this in a different interview,
Only
It's gonna
Mike
cost me
Tyson.
$25,000 just to mow the lawn. Right?
which when
What?
combined with his other houses meant gardening bills alone mounted to $100,000. Although the gardener was still a minor expense, familiar, it's because Tyson eventually sold it to 50 Cent, who called it his biggest financial mistake,
What was the most like when you wasted money? The Tyson crib was like that.
mainly because of how much the property cost to run.
How much was the upkeep? Guesstimate per year.
About 700,000.
A year.
Tyson expanded on this in a different interview,
It's gonna cost me $25,000 just to mow the lawn. Right?
which when combined with his other houses meant gardening bills alone mounted to $100,000, although the gardener was still a minor expense compared to the things Tyson bought for these houses. As a gift for his first wife, Robin Givens, Mike spent $2.2 million on a solid gold bathtub,
my
which was
God.
followed by their divorce less than a year later,
solid gold
which cost
bathtub.
Mike a
What the fuck? Mike Tyson was so rich. The 90s was stupid.
further $10 million in legal fees and compensation. Tyson had also dropped $410,000 on a birthday party and $140,000 on two white Bengal tigers, which needed their own specialty enclosure, $200,000 a year worth of food, and their own animal trainer, which Mike hired at a cost of $125,000 a year. Mike also had to pay a friend $250,000 in compensation after they were bitten by one of the tigers, although there was another bite that cost Tyson even more. During a match in 1997, Evander Holyfield headbutted Tyson, who in retaliation bit a portion of Holyfield's ear off. Tyson was disqualified and fined $3 million, although it seemed he hadn't learnt his lesson, as he then bit Lennox Lewis's leg during a press conference, warranting another $335,000 fine. In the process, Tyson employed over 200 different people, including chefs, chauffeurs, and bodyguards, the most pointless of which being a guy nicknamed Crocodile, whose sole function was to dress in fatigues and repeatedly shout guerrilla warfare at Tyson's news conferences, for which he was paid $300,000 in 1996.
I get
In
it,
another
though.
crazy instance, Tyson walked into a club and offered to pay for everybody's drinks all night.
Mike calls me over again. Ed, come here. I go, what's up, Mike?
I get it though, because again, to an extent, oh well, let me stop. To an extent, there is a level of literally he's doing this shit because again,
We're
like
gonna be on this river for a while, so
beat up.
I mean, you can stay at 65. But I'm just saying. We're gonna be on this river.
So again, like when you think about that, like
You just know how they are about the right hand, so that's what I was like. Well, you can get some extra if you like.
okay, like oh they got this shit hanging in the bottom. Like bro, that's crazy because again, like these people ain't. You don't know what they gonna do with their lives, just whatever. We all coming from, it's different people coming from different parts of life and shit like that. So I get it. Like, what, man? Like he said, I come from nothing. Like, I'm gonna be philanthropic, even though it's crazy and he doing too much, and also having survivor's remorse. So I get that element of it. But damn, man, guerrilla warfare for 200,000.
That's crazy.
Again, that's why so many people will be around people like this. You know you're gonna get some money out of it by being around. Now it's clout, and you can get money off the clout too. But it's like you gonna get some money off being around Mike Tyson, low key. Just by being around.
Jay, I got the bar until the club closed. I said, what are you talking about? I'm buying the bar out. Everybody can have whatever they want.
However, there was one final expense that was higher than any other.
Do you regret anything?
Yeah, I didn't pay taxes really.
That'll get you. Yeah.
It was revealed in
Oh my
2003 that Tyson owed $13.4 million to the IRS, $117,000 to 5 different states, as well as $4 million to British tax authorities, and things only got worse from here. Turns out most of Mike's luxury purchases were being made on credit, and as a result he also owed $27 million to various different businesses, including $600,000 to a legal company, $500,000 to his finance manager, and $800,000 to a former trainer, all of which were stacked on top of a second divorce. Tyson owes money to at least 246 creditors, including the Internal Revenue Service, the Screen Actors Guild, and dozens of doctors, lawyers, and accountants. Tyson owes his ex-wife Monica Turner almost $9 million from their divorce, and he hasn't paid $19.4 million in taxes to the IRS, Great Britain, and 5 states, which was an extra large problem as Tyson was down to his last $1,250 in cash. Tyson, 38, said all of his houses have been sold or seized, and he owns only one car, albeit a white Hummer SUV, newly purchased and apparently not yet paid for. According to bank records Tyson's attorney submitted to the US bankruptcy court, Tyson earned $38 during January. His living expenses during that month were more than $407,000. Mike Tyson was completely and utterly screwed. However, he devised a plan to get himself out of trouble. Tyson's reorganization plan is ambitious. He hopes to earn at least $19.5 million from boxing over the next 3 years to help satisfy his creditors, although this isn't what would happen. In fact, he'd lose both of his next 2 professional fights before retiring from boxing.
Oh, this was back in the day. No, this is not even
At
modern.
the time
This
he'd
is still
state,
back
my
in the day.
whole life has been a waste. I've been a failure. I just want to escape. I'm really
This was when
embarrassed
I
with
think this was
myself and
tattooed
my
on the face
life.
here.
I want to be a missionary. I think I could do that while keeping my dignity without letting people know they chased me out of the country. I want to get this part of my life over as soon as possible. In this country, nothing good is going to come of me. I'm so stigmatized there is no way I can elevate myself. I'll never be happy. I believe I'll die alone. I would want it that way. I've been a loner all my life with my secrets and my pain. I'm really lost, but I'm trying to find myself. I'm a really sad, pathetic case. With nothing else to do, Mike spent his days caring for 350 unique pigeons, a collection which prior to bankruptcy, he'd paid $400,000 for. He'd later liken his spending habits to a drug addiction.
It's like the drugs. You might as well say you have it all, but it's still that empty hole that you're trying to fulfill. You spend as much as you can to try to get that satisfaction, fulfill that hole that just is bottomless.
However, Tyson's life wasn't finished yet. Losing everything had taught Tyson a valuable lesson.
I know the power of humbleness now.
How did you learn that?
Humility acting as a baseline for him to rebuild his life. Tyson took the lessons he'd learnt and transformed them into a book, whilst his life story was also the perfect premise for his own documentary. On top of this, Mike landed a cameo role in both The Hangover 1 and 2, for which he was paid $300,000. Through these various media appearances, Mike was
never see me without a Groove Life ring on. As a career firefighter, there was no way I was going to.
Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson is considered today as one of pop music's most successful and, as a result, richest artists of all time. The incredible wealth he amassed over the years attracted countless later financial blows. However, much misinformation has been put out over the years, largely due to overzealous rumors and sensationalized tabloid fodder. How did he exactly make his considerable fortune? Was Michael Jackson pop's first billionaire? And did the king of pop end up dying completely broke? In this series of videos, we hope to, in some estimation, uncover the numbers behind Michael Jackson's complex finances, from his royalty checks to numerous business dealings, endorsement payouts, and outlandish expenses, revealing the truth behind Michael Jackson's colossal bank account. Here's the detail. When Michael and his brothers first hit the pop music scene in 1969 as the Jackson 5, they debuted with a string of #1 hits that broke records, pushing the Beatles out the charts. Within a year, the singles I Want You Back, ABC, The Love You Save, and I'll Be There sold over 3 million units each. Their debut album also raked in the cash, with Diana Ross Presents The Jackson 5 selling over 500,000 copies by the end of 1970. Their newfound chart success meant that the Jackson 5 were also performing to sell-out audiences around the U.S., with their first 6-show tour grossing over $500,000, $3.8 million in today's dollars. However, the Motown-founded group had their record label take a hefty proportion of the revenue earned from record sales, leaving them with the 2.8% royalty rate as per their contract. In their first 3 years, the Jackson 5 sold an incredible 33 million singles and 8 million albums, giving the group an estimated cut of $1.8 million to $2.7 million, $13.2 million to $19.7 million when adjusted for inflation. In addition, the brothers toured almost continuously throughout this period, embarking on no less than 3 domestic tours as well as 1 in Europe, performing over 119 shows and grossing approximately $5.9 million, $43.1 million when adjusted for inflation, giving them a cut of between $2.9 million to $4.1 million, $21.2 million to $30 million when adjusted for inflation. If you include merchandise and other income streams, by the end of 1972, the Jackson 5 as an entity earned them a total of $5.7 million to $8.6 million. $1.7 million to $62.9 million today.
Or next to building, yeah.
Michael Jackson openly spoke about receiving $200,000 royalty checks in the mail as a kid, in which he would cash in, take a couple of dollars out to buy some candy, and leave the rest. When the Jacksons announced they were leaving their record label in 1975, industry commentators estimated that the group were contributing as much as a record. Although the brothers went on to sell millions as the Jacksons, Michael was never given the opportunity to acquire his own personal wealth until he developed an independent career as an adult. His first solo record with CBS, Off the Wall, was off the bat a huge success, selling over 5 million copies domestically in its first year, becoming the best-selling record of 1980 and the highest-selling album fortune from just one record, earning $1.10 to $1.50 per album sold. By the end of 1982, Michael Jackson received a figure of approximately $9.4 to $12.8 million, or $29.8 million to $40.5 million when adjusted for inflation.
I need to share something that most homeowners are completely in the dark about. No joke.
Meanwhile, his father, Joseph, was having financial issues after several bad business dealings and was reportedly looking to sell the family's Los Angeles home. In response to this crisis, Michael offered to purchase the house from them, gifting a 50% stake in the property to his mother. The singer then made grand plans with his newfound wealth to effectively knock down the old mid-century structure and rebuild a fairy tale mansion in French chateau style. Its centerpiece became a 5-bedroom, 7-bathroom, 10,000 square foot residence. The property also included a state-of-the-art home studio and 3 small stores that resembled a candy store, a puppet shop, and an ice cream shop. Additions to the property also included a 6-foot Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs diorama, a movie theater, games room, a small zoo, manicured gardens, and a court stake in the property to his mother. The singer then looking to sell the family's Los Angeles home. In response to this crisis, Michael offered to purchase the house from them, gifting a 50% stake in the property to his mother. The singer then made grand plans with his newfound wealth to effectively knock down the old mid-century structure and rebuild a fairy tale mansion in French chateau style. Its centerpiece became a 5-bedroom, 7-bathroom, 10,000 square foot residence. The property also included a state-of-the-art home studio and 3 small stores that resembled a candy store, a puppet shop, and an ice cream shop. Additions to the property also included a 6-foot Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs diorama, a movie theater, games room, a small zoo, manicured gardens, and a koi pond. While Michael's dream home was being constructed, his attorney, John Branca, secured him the highest royalty rate ever achieved in the music industry up until that point. With his contract up for negotiation, and with a very promising career ahead, having achieved sky-high record sales with Off the Wall, he was in prime position to secure a very lucrative deal for his next LP. With approximately $2 or $5.68 today going in his pocket for each album sold, Michael Jackson released his 1982 juggernaut Thriller. Over the course of 1983, Michael Jackson's bank accounts were flooded with cash as the royalty checks kept coming in. Thriller spent a record 37 weeks at number 1 on the Billboard 200 and at its peak was selling 1 million units a week.
Damn.
The record later became the best-selling album in the United States in 1983 and 1984, making it the first album to be the best-selling for 2 years, and of course was awarded the best-selling album of all time in February 1984. From Thriller sales alone, by the spring of 1984, Michael Jackson had quickly amassed an incredible fortune of $50 million, or $147 million when adjusted for inflation. At this time, Michael leveraged his incredible fortune to push his career into new heights, as demonstrated when his record company refused to fund the production for his Thriller music video. Jackson paid for it himself and offset the additional cost of $500,000, or $1.4 million today, by having a production crew document its creation for the making of Michael Jackson's Thriller home video. During the infancy of home VCR systems, the documentary became the best-selling video cassette at the time, selling well over 50,000 copies within 6 months of its release.
Oh no, he was the
making
greatest.
the now
He was the
global
greatest
superstar
ever.
in excess of $2 million, or $5.9 million, as demonstrated when his record company refused to fund the production for his Thriller music video.
Kanye
Jackson paid
he
for it
needs to stop saying
himself
that he's
and
like
offset the additional cost of $500,000, or $1.4 million today, by having a production crew document its creation for the making of Michael Jackson's Thriller home video. During the infancy of home VCR systems, the documentary became the best-selling video cassette at the time, selling well over 50,000 copies within 6 months of its release, making the now global superstar in excess of $2 million, or $5.9 million today. 1984 would also be significant as Michael Jackson embarked on the then highest grossing tour of all time, the Victory Tour, grossing $75 million, or $220.6 million today. Him and his brothers also secured an endorsement, selling video cassette at the time, selling well over 50,000 copies within 6 months of its release, making the now global superstar in excess of $2 million, or $5.9 million today. 1984 would also be significant as Michael Jackson embarked on the then highest grossing tour of all time, the Victory Tour, grossing $75 million, or $220.6 million today. Him and his brothers also secured an endorsement deal with Pepsi Cola worth $5 million, or $14.7 million today.
An IQ of 85 to 115 is considered average in the US. An IQ of 115 to 145 is considered high. And
don't care. Michael Jackson
However,
IQ
its
was $1 billion.
bloated production costs, high ticket price, and dodgy payment processing tactics forced Michael to give up his portion of profits from the tour in order to stem the ongoing PR crisis.
What?
Giving the charity an estimated $5 million, or $14.7 million when adjusted for inflation. Michael also gave the settlement he received from Pepsi for the burns he suffered while filming to the hospital that treated him, amounting to $1.5 million, or $4.4 million today.
And again, that's worth $100 million.
Although Michael's focus was more on giving his money away, the press and promotional benefits of the Victory Tour led the superstar's Thriller record to surpass sales of 40 million units by 1985, netting Michael additional royalty payments of $30 million, or $85.2 million when adjusted for inflation.
Niggas is doing money combos, man.
And with an estimated net worth of $100
That's why he gave all that money for
million
tour away for taxes. He's smart as fuck. Hey, Michael Jackson was smart as shit.
Michael was keen to make large-scale investments with his considerable newfound wealth. The largest being his purchase of the ATV music catalog in the summer of 1985 for a whopping $47.5 million, or the equivalent of $135 million today. The most powerful individual in all of music publishing. On On top of income he already received for his own work, Michael Jackson would now take 50% of all royalty payments for when these songs were played, performed, or used for other activities like licensing for a film or television commercial. Before his purchase of the catalog, ATV...
They definitely killed him in Franklin. You could just hear by the numbers he was doing. He was black. They definitely... if y'all was ever wondering, if your world, America, internet, ChatGPT, Zeitgeist, Terminator, Agent Smith off of the Matrix, Wally, whoever, they framed Michael Jackson and they killed him. It's clear. Michael Jackson owned the whole music industry and he was the highest selling artist at the time with royalties of his music. Yes, I would destroy his name. He gonna be anything we gotta make him in order for us to get this money in this music.
There was no control.
No, cause what? None.
He was the control.
And making hits still. 85, he ain't even slow. 85, Michael Jackson ain't even slowed down.
Every time he made a put.
Every time Michael Jackson blinked, he made a great decision financially, and every time he got in the booth, the nigga dropped gems. Oh my God. We already heard that Mike Tyson just was a blessing to the world. He was like Mansa Musa, but damn, Mike Tyson was money. Oh my God, that's a jail.
Oh yeah. You always know with those windows.
Yeah. Those glimpses to the free world. There ain't no damn window.
That's why I said.
Facts. Quotation points. Michael Jackson was that man.
Approximately 50 for a whopping $47.5 million, or the equivalent of $135 million today. Jackson went payments for when these songs were played, occurred to Mogul, and instantly the most powerful individual in all of music publishing. On top of income he already received for his own work, Michael Jackson would now take 50% of all royalty payments for when these songs were played, performed, or used for other activities like licensing for a film or television commercial. Before his purchase of the catalog, ATV was grossing approximately $15 million per annum, $44.3 million when adjusted for inflation, with half its revenue tied to Beatles music. In the years that followed, payments for when these occurred to Mogul, and instantly the most powerful individual. Michael was keen to make large-scale investments with his considerable newfound wealth, the largest being his purchase of the ATV music catalog in the summer of 1985 for a whopping $47.5 million, or the equivalent of $135 million today. Jackson went moonwalker to Mogul, and instantly the most powerful individual in all of music publishing. On top of income he already received for his own work, Michael Jackson would now take 50% of all royalty payments for when these songs were played, performed, or used for other activities like licensing for a film or television commercial. Before his purchase of the catalog, ATV was grossing approximately $15 million per annum, $44.3 million when adjusted for inflation, with half its revenue tied to Beatles music. In the years that followed, Jackson would increase profits through lucrative yet controversial licensing deals, as well as compilation album and documentary releases, upping his own personal income, but also adding value to the asset he invested in. In preparation for the release of his next record, and
now this is why I played that back real quick. Remember we was listening to something, and I was playing that thing where they were interviewing the different like voice actors for like different comedy and stuff like that. Is that San Diego State Stadium? I mean, UNLV Stadium? Where's that house at? Oh, that one. No, that look like house. What is that?
That looks like a speedway.
Zoom out. Oh, it is a speedway.
Yeah,
it's a
speedway.
Okay. Bruh, Las Vegas Speedway. Okay. The lady said, I've never been to no speedway. The lady said that the deals now are different for the royalties for the different shows that they do and stuff now, for the voices, for like kid voices and stuff like that. So again, think about it. Michael Jackson in control of those royalties with whatever those deals were, even before they started auditing and adjusting what it is his deals were. Think about how much money he was going to be getting today based off the structure of what those royalty deals were. Because again, even though they fucked the artists over, they're signed in favor of the white artists benefiting. The white artists always got better deals than the black artists. So you now got control of great publishing deals, the great royalty deals. They got rid of him. And then again, like, think about how brilliant he was. Like, did you see the little images of like the stuff this right here?
With half its revenue tied to Beatles music. Many years ago, Jackson would increase profits through lucrative $44.3 million.
Look at the creative, cool stuff that he was putting
together. With half its revenue
together.
tied to Beatles music.
Just to
In the
show
years that
his
followed,
mind was
Jackson
so
would
far
increase
advanced.
profits through lucrative yet
Kanye
controversial
never did nothing
licensing
like this. Kanye
deals,
was
as well as
all
compilation
rebased.
album and documentary releases.
Like what?
Upping his own personal income, but also adding value to the asset he invested in. In preparation.
So now, think about it. When Michael Jackson died, when he was getting a lot of the negative pub, what culture was he into? Hip hop. Michael Jackson loved in the club. Michael Jackson fucked with Jay-Z. Michael Jackson fucked with Nelly and all of that. Michael Jackson fucked with Snoop Dogg's music and all of that. For real. Well, he wasn't really fucking with Pharrell, but again, you know, was working with Pharrell. Was telling Pharrell, I want what you giving to Nori, nigga. So again, what would Michael Jackson have done for rap and hip hop? Yes, they killed Michael Jackson. With a strategic purpose and a plan. It's not even a conversation to even start the conversation about the narratives about all of this other shit that they do on him. Because again, like I can't even say now I believe that to be true. I don't. Hearing how much money Michael Jackson was worth, I don't believe that to be true. Because see, people can't even fathom how much money Michael Jackson was worth because they don't understand the value of money and equity and deals and shit like that.
And remember, at this point, they're trying to do the upgrade tax. They didn't want any of these people to have that money. And then they had all the Jacksons having making money, even though they didn't make anywhere near as much as him. But you know.
What you mean? They ain't gotta make nowhere near. Janet Jackson, one of the highest grossing women artists ever, and she ain't worth not like that. No. I'm with you. My bad. No. I'm going. You know, I'm going Cam Newton first take. At the end of the day, the point of it is, and why I'm saying that is this. At the end of the day, Janet Jackson was worth a lot. She the shit. But again, she ain't worth a damn against the top 5% of the women's R&B artists that it is. Whether it's like whatever it is, but these type of artists, you know, all of the shit that we hearing, all of this, not that Khalees is relevant today, but you know, all of these little artists that we hearing today, you know, singing, what's her name, they won the Grammy and shit like that, Yes, but again, yes, those type of songs, not the vibe that Janet is, but all of that variety of type of music and those types of songs is Janet Jackson. She can make all of that. She can make Aaliyah, you know, trips up with your rips up, whatever that stupid ass song is. She can make Anxiety. She can make all of that. She can make That Boy's the Liar. Like, those is all her songs.
Yeah.
The Boy's a Liar is just a Janet Jackson sing-along.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, think about it. And Michael was doing all of this with hip-hop. I mean, without hip-hop, and never touched rap at all. When rap come out, they start using him to shit on rap. Y'all not Michael Jackson. Y'all ain't worth a damn. And he like, nah, I fuck with these niggas though. But at the same time, they don't fuck with him because they more tougher than him and they street. But again, what do you always hear? Michael Jackson was low-key a Crip from Indiana because Michael Jackson from Gary, Indiana. He was a hustler. You could hear it. Nigga took a deal from Pepsi. Nigga went on tour, made the most money in any tour ever. And because niggas was hating on him because of how he flipped the tour model, which probably looked like how it was today. He probably had niggas going through call services and all kinds of shit like it is today. How as closely to being digitized as it was, he probably did everything like you seeing today through a Michael Jackson service or some kind of all this shit that they didn't like and signing deals with that kind of shit. So he gave that money that he made from the tour up. Why? Because I know I'm gonna have to pay my taxes, Mike Tyson. So again, I'm gonna donate this money to charity. That's how you avoid taxes, is charity. He was fucking brilliant. Nah, he was that dude.
And at least it's going to somebody better than the IRS.
A 40. We going up here. We gotta open the window so we don't blow the gaskets. Windows open. Mic on mute. Tuck it, baby, it's almost here. 56 miles to the Skeeter. Oh, yeah. We talking about and the great thing. And nothing, I'm just looking for shit. And overall, the topic was that in the movie Any Given Sunday, which I believe is the greatest sport movie, one, because of the level of acting. You got Al Pacino, Jamie Foxx in there, Cameron Diaz are in that movie. Just a trio, three of the greatest actors of acting history between Jamie Foxx and Al Pacino and Jamie Foxx, right? Ray, Scarface. Then you got Lawrence Taylor, Jim Brown in that movie. The background actor and details of so many other great. Warren Moon is in that movie as a coach. Both of them are in the movie as coaches, right? Dennis Quaid is in that movie. Cameron Diaz, I think the most serious I probably have ever seen her as an actress. LL Cool J as a swaggy running back, the Marshawn, kind of like, you know, Ricky Williams, but not, you know, flashy, you know, running against the world, but you gotta love me for every yard that I get for you and give to you. LL Cool J running back. Bill Bellamy as Michael Irvin, essentially, because they couldn't get Michael Irvin in the movie. I know they couldn't. T.O. is in the movie, and that's why, to me, it makes it the greatest football movie ever. And where we had to open the windows and things like that and let the air out. The question is, randomly, what would be Jasmine's all-time road trip team? So, would you like me to recall them, or would you like to read them back?
I can read them back. Okay. So, my first pick is you, obviously.
With the first overall pick, it is
Zachary
Webb, athlete.
Our second overall pick.
Number 2 overall pick, fantasy and/or real football, is
Willie Beeman.
with Steeman Willie Beeman of the Miami Sharks, then formerly of the New Mexico Aztecs, which is crazy because my dad was born in New Mexico. So again, that's hard.
Our offensive line.
All-time offensive line will be
The Rams.
the all-time Rams offensive line, past and present, a amalgamation of all of those players, the greatest of them, to build an offensive line room.
Head coach.
Head coach will be
Nick Saban.
Nick Saban, baby. You know I love Coach Saban, baby.
And offensive coordinator.
Offensive coordinator will be,
of course, Sean McVay.
the legendary great Sean McVay. Oh my Lord, we getting dangerous.
For modern favorites.
Modern favorite player picked. So the third overall pick of the draft by the Fighting Kianis.
Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow, as we don't know which quarterback he is yet. Joe Burrow is drafted.
Yes.
We done technically drafted 3 quarterbacks, 2 and a possible, because your boy can sling it. Dang, that looks nice. Like right there, redemption or something.
And then our next one would be Puka Nacua.
With the 4th overall draft pick, the Fighting Kiani select Puka Nacua.
Woo!
It's a fan favorite pick.
And then our next modern favorite, we have Keon Coleman.
Next random favorite player you wouldn't think I liked. You wouldn't know I knew. Keon Fruit Snacks on your head Coleman. Comedian Coleman. Great pick. If you know anything about ball, Kiani has not utilized the choice of a all-time legendary receiver, but she got a receiver room that just off Keon Coleman and Puka with the modern-day offenses with a new dude like Sean McVay, definitely going to be able to do a little something. Continue.
And
what pick is that? How many players we picked so far? That's 5.
that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah.
Yes. So that was the 5th overall pick, Keon Coleman. With the 6th overall, what's next? 6th overall pick?
6, yes, for defense.
6th overall pick, defense.
We start with Mr. Max Crosby.
Kiani picked one of her modern favorites is Max Crosby. Oh my God, your D-line is crazy! Whoa!
That's 6.
With the 6th overall pick, Jasmine knows ball. Her team better than some shit the niggas will pick.
Number 7, we have great athlete, Travis Hunter.
Number 7 overall pick, Travis Hunter, athlete, wide receiver, and defensive back. Career ability not limited and or scaled because the man won a Heisman Trophy. So realistically, she can get college football 25 version Travis Hunter. She can get whatever greatness he get into in the league, like whatever. Great pick. And still has not picked a bona fide number 1 NFL superstar, modern day or past receiver. Has not picked a Jerry Rice, Randy Moss option yet. A top 9,000 receiver, essentially, like 9,000 yard receiver list. They ain't picked nobody on the 9,000 plus yard list.
Yeah.
Nobody on the 9,000, 80, not 80 plus catches, 9,000. I don't know how many catches. What 500 plus catches? 100 or 80 plus touchdowns, 60 plus touchdown list. Nobody on that list has been selected yet for the receivers. Excuse me for my rambling.
Our 8th overall pick is number 99.
Woo! 8th overall pick, and it's crazy that he went this low, but that's a great value pick. Amazing value pick. Aaron Donald as the, what is that listed as?
Defense.
Just the defensive player, just in general. She just called Aaron Donald's name. We don't know. This is the hill. We'll be back. brief commercial break. Oh, look at that cabin, that little mini valley. I'm going through these little things and things. Well, we ain't gonna get the valley though.
Merge onto I-15 North.
Oh, it's set to a setting. It's only gonna show like that.
For about 26 miles, continue straight.
Okay, so we left off on the choice of Aaron Donald, which was a very strategic and very great pick because Aaron Donald she just picked Aaron Donald, so he almost don't get categorized, which means I still get to ask her like her all-time great favorite defensive play. But I'm gonna use a pick and I'm gonna pick somebody because at this point, then when she picked after, I think the next pick capped her shit out crazy as just picking legendary niggas because it's just she got a murder squad. Like, damn, like, it's making me think, like, okay.
And I'm not just picking, like, I genuinely, like, have seen these people play, admire their game, like, and definitely, like, their characters.
Their video, they highlight, their performance on field, like
this has nothing to do with, like, oh, I just think he's cute. Mm-hmm. Not at all.
So she picked Aaron Donald, then what was the next choice?
The Rams defensive line.
No,
No.
You picked the Steelers. You picked James Harrison in there.
Oh, the whole. Oh, that's why you said that. Okay, then yes, James Harrison and
not the Steelers defensive line all time, not the steel curtain, she picked what come with the silver and black culture all time as a defensive line room structure to go with Max Crosby and Aaron Donald. She picked the Steelers. History. James Harrison and them. That's crazy because niggas is finna die. It's finna be dead bodies out. Somebody's gonna die playing against the Jasmines. You gotta be real strategic with the rules you pick because they equipped for anything.
That sounds fun.
What? Who gonna cool blocking with them niggas out there? What? I'm gonna try and make it on the game. Fuck it. I'm gonna put it up against Chris' team and see what Chris picked. I'm not even gonna tell him like what other people was picking. I'm gonna pick a few people. I'm not even gonna tell them what each other's picking.
What position has Malik Neighbors? Quarterback?
He's a wide receiver.
Can I throw him in there?
If you put Malik Neighbors in there though, you capped out at
I'm capped
receivers.
out already?
No, if you do that, you can't get no all-time great receiver.
Oh no.
You can't pick the best receiver you could possibly think of as far as I've ever showed you football. You can't pick whoever you want if you pick Malik Neighbors. But again, with Puka Nacua, Travis Hunter, Keon Coleman, Malik Neighbors, me, you still ain't picked the tight end. I mean, hey.
Well, who are my options in terms of all-time? You said Jerry Rice.
It's anybody that got 9,000 yards and up.
I know. So who is it?
So, for example, you could pick Steve Smith, Antonio Brown, I believe, Julio Jones, Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, T.O., Michael Irvin, I think, got 10,000 yards. Ocho Cinco has 11,000 yards. Okay, boom.
That's not even. That makes sense.
Put DA for that pick, whatever number that is. Then put the DA 1, and then put WR, the one receiver. Oh, and then put number 1, like you know the hashtag.